Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Corey Hennessy. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. I make all videos when it comes to real estate marketing, lead generation, and everything in between. And in this video, I'm going to go through exactly how you can get more house tours or open houses for your real estate business, meaning you can get more interest in properties that maybe you have listings or maybe you have properties in your brokerage that you're looking to sell that have been sitting around and you need to do an open house to get interest and get buyers into the home. This is a strategy you can use for your marketing to actually get people to show up, get people to walk around, and then put in offers on those properties. So I'm going to go through the full system. I'm going to go through exactly all of the steps you need to set up. And using my other videos on how to set up lead gen and everything else, you'll be able to implement this strategy straight away into your business as a brokerage or even a real estate agent. You can use this system yourself to help you sell more property. So to get started, we're going to start with the call out. Now, this is the headline or the main primary text on the advertisement. And I'm strictly talking about Facebook ads in this video. So, Facebook and Instagram, all of the meta platforms we're going to be sticking with. Now, the call out headline needs to be something that stands out about the property. So, if you have a super luxurious property in Florida that has swimming pools, maybe it's a penthouse in New York, make sure you're saying open house, come visit this week, and then the information on the property. So, open house near you in Tampa, Florida, 6-story penthouse, multi-million dollar home, whatever the information is you have, make sure that that is the very first line in the advertisement. That is going to be your call out headline. So, you're calling out the people and getting them interested in the advertisement. Now, the rest of the text can just be information about the property. So the property itself, the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the square footage. Make sure you're giving all of that information in the primary text and filling in as much information is needed in the primary text that a buyer or an interested person is going to need for that property. Make sure you give as much information so they can book that home tour. Now, the CTA or the call to action on the actual advertisement itself, keep it simple. Just click book a home tour today, put as book your home tour, book your open house, come visit our open house, book your open house today. You can test a bunch of different variations. Usually, you're not going to see a difference just based on as long as it is something related to booking an open house tour or booking a home tour. Whatever it is, just keep it simple and try different variations. It's going to lead to the same outcome when it comes to this strategy. I haven't noticed much difference when it comes to different CTAs. Now, the creative, what exact creative do I recommend running? I recommend having a mixed bag of creative. So running some images, so just really nice photography that you're a photographer that took images of the home, running those as a carousel, running them as single images, having multiple different options. You're really not going to know with this Andromeda update which image performs the best. Obviously, have the exterior of the property, but then have the bathrooms, have the bedrooms, have interior photography in the advertising, have all of that mixed into an ad set or an ad itself. Then have some videos. If you have a video shot, make sure you're using the video itself. Try some of those with your callouts, with your primary text. And then finally, some graphics. This is what we have sold the most property with. And it's a graphic outlining the property information, such as how many rooms, how many bedrooms, bathrooms, everything in between when it comes to the property itself. So, exterior, interior, maybe some bedrooms, whatever 3 images, 4 images really stand out about the property, make sure you're using those on the graphic itself. So, you have your creative, you have your text. Now, what exactly is the strategy that I recommend you start to do, or the strategy that we use in Vantage, my real estate marketing agency? We use this across all of our real estate brokerage clients. And to get started, it is lead forms. So you're going to set up your lead form ads, and the goal will be to do a radius around the property. So somewhere close where people can actually visit. You don't want this to be too far away. Now, there is a limit if your ad gets restricted to housing on how small this can be. So the goal will be to really give the primary text and give as much information in the ad itself so that Facebook has enough information to really hone down your targeting and hopefully you get people closer to the property. But the best way is to try and get the radius as small as possible on the ad itself. Now, you don't need much information from the lead when it comes to this strategy. I recommend getting obviously the contact information, the phone number, the email, and the full name. Now, with that, you're going to get a lot of volume. The leads are going to be cheap. And that's what this strategy actually works best with. And it means that you don't need a really expensive budget with this strategy because you're going to get a lot of interest from the ad itself. The goal or the difficult part will be going through those leads and actually getting the person to visit. And that's what we're going to do in the next one. So, on the last point, I have the call to action, and that is a book a home tour, book the open house tour. Keep it simple. As I said, you can try a bunch of different variations, put it into Claude or GPT and ask for 5 or 6 variations. You can test out all the different ones. We haven't seen any really outperform other than just a book a home tour or book a open tour. They all seem to work the same when it comes to this. So you have your lead form set up, your ads are set up in Meta, you have all of your creative in place. Now, what exactly happens when you start generating those leads? Next will be the leads are being pulled into GoHighLevel. So now your leads are actually going into HighLevel automatically. And if you don't know how to use HighLevel, check out my other videos. Make sure to subscribe to get more information on these kind of tutorials and strategies. But you can check out my other videos. I have full setups on doing lead forms. Really simple to do now. It's super easy to set up your lead form ads. Once you have your creative and your copy, you can set those live, link it to your GoHighLevel. So you're going to link it to your HighLevel account. And once it's linked, you'll start to pull all of your leads automatically into HighLevel. I have a video on that too. And you're going to want to contact the leads using AI. So set up the conversational AI bot inside of GoHighLevel and have it respond to all of the new leads coming in. So this is where you can really go through all of the junk leads, all of the tire kickers that you will inevitably get using this strategy. You are going to get a bunch of tire kickers, but because the lead cost is so low, it's not an issue with this strategy, and you can actually bring them in and turn them into a visit. So somebody that's actually going to visit. You can do that using the AI chatbot. So if I even put in AI chatbot, that's going to bring in people. It's going to be speaking to leads. It's going to be booking them in. And you can set the goal of the chatbot to be to book people in for the open house. The automations. So the automation, you can do an email and SMS. So you're automatically sending an email and an SMS the moment that the lead comes in. And you're going to send something simple like, hey, John, you filled in a lead form to visit a open house with our property and the full property address. Just looking to confirm that you're going to show up on this date and this time. Please reply yes or no. Now, if they reply yes, you know that that person is going to show up, or the intent or the likelihood is much higher that they will show up. So that's an easy way to get those people in. Now, something to keep in mind is the intent there isn't super high. It's not going to be a guaranteed visit, but you're starting to collect people and bring them through a funnel where you have a much higher chance of that person showing up. Now, if you want to increase that chance, you can actually email and SMS manually. So if you are following up with the leads yourself on top of the automation or checking in with the leads again, if you know that they've showed some sort of interest or maybe they've responded, I recommend stepping in and manually doing it. And if you wanted to go a step further, you can even call all of the leads yourself and double check or book them in yourself. And this is going to be the highest likelihood that they are going to show up to your open house. Now, the next step is the booking of the home tour. As I said, the lead can self book. So you could give them the option to go directly to a calendar in your HighLevel, have them book in. This is where we've seen the lowest show rate, but we have seen people book in from this, and a lot more volume of leads will book themselves in using a calendar, using a form that they can book themselves in. And that's where most people will convert, but have the lowest likelihood of actually showing up on the day. Now, the next one is booking them up via follow up. So this is the SMS, either manually automated, whatever it is, the intent or the likelihood of the person showing up is going to be much higher. So you have a much higher chance of this person showing up to view the property compared to the likes of somebody that has booked themselves in and maybe just forget all about it. And these are all the different ways that you need to have in place, because somebody will book themselves in and show up, somebody might not, and they need a little bit of help to book in, or they need some follow up, especially if it's somebody that's older, maybe they're 70, 80, and they're looking to purchase a property. They're not going to be used to booking themselves in or using this digital marketing kind of self booking service. So, following up with those leads is very important, as they could be buying property for their kids or they could be investing in property. You really don't know. And you really need to do a lot of outreach to digital leads when you are running this kind of advertising. Now, the final one is booking the leads via call. This is without a doubt the highest show rate. Now, based on the volume, this might not be possible. Or if you have a real estate team, it might be easier. If you have a team and you are a brokerage, obviously you're going to have a sales team or a realtor that can follow up with the leads themselves. And being able to speak to that lead and give them more information over the phone and actually say, yes, the show is on the 30th or the open house is on the 30th of March. Are you able to make it? I'll schedule you in. I'll book you in. They'll still be booked into the same calendar, but you have a verbal confirmation that they will show up. And this has been the highest show rate of all of the leads, but it's the lowest outcome from all of the leads. So this strategy allows you to really get a lot of interest in property that might be lying around, or maybe property that's been in your brokerage for a long time and just isn't getting any traction. So it's a good way to kind of revamp that property. Or if you just have a property that's expensive or it's a luxury property and you're not getting many hits on it, or maybe it's outside the budget of the main audience that you work with. If you're used to selling property that is $400,000, $500,000, and that's kind of your main focus, maybe you need to reach a new audience with your marketing and you're selling something that's 2 million, 5 million. This is a strategy that works across any property. So this will work across commercial real estate, residential real estate, luxury real estate, whatever you're selling, this will work. And it just comes down to realizing you're bringing in the leads, you're then filtering them using your automation and high level, and then you're following up using multiple different strategies to actually book them in. And this will lead to you actually getting people to show up in person to your property. And the benefit of doing it so broad is the fact that the cost per lead is going to be so low. As I mentioned, it's a great way to focus on the marketing. So, focusing your budget if you are a small brokerage, or even if you're a realtor with a small budget, it means you can actually dedicate a small amount of money, a few $100s to a property, and you're going to get leads, you're going to get people interested, and you'll get people to show up. And once you test it with, say, $500 in the future, when you get more expensive property or you're partnering with higher ticket clients that want you to sell their property, you can invest more into your house tour strategy using this strategy, and you'll know that will work because you'll get a lot more volume. You'll be able to automate the follow up with all of the leads. You might be able to still call if you're spending that much money and following up, but you're booking a lot more people in for the open house. And as a realtor or even a brokerage, this is a great system to show to any sellers that are looking to work with you, anyone that's looking to partner with you to sell commercial real estate. This is a great strategy to show them because it gives them trust in your business to actually sell the property. And it's something that a lot of our clients actually use on their pitch calls with sellers to help them understand how they will actually help sell the property. The tours can also be virtual. So this is something that's becoming more and more common now, especially for apartments in cities like New York, in Texas, where there's a lot of volume or a lot of interest in the property. And some people just want a virtual tour. They don't actually need to visit, and they just want to see the property through FaceTime. You can actually do the exact same strategy and you can book them in to the calendar, and then you can FaceTime them at that time, or you can just book them in on the calendar and do a Zoom call, do a Google Meet, and you can show them the property in real time. And it's going to allow you to, instead of having one specific date that you're setting up the home tour or the house tour or the open house, instead, you're going to be able to let people book in, and you can virtually do a show every whatever your calendar is. Maybe you're in the property once a week, or maybe you're in the property twice a week. You can set those days that people can book in. And as long as they're booked in, you're going to be there. You can do the call and you can show them around the property. And hopefully, you can get either a rental or a sale directly through that strategy. You can also do charging. So if you wanted to charge for tours, that's possible. You can do that directly through Go High Level. And it's something that some of our clients do too. So maybe to really keep the kind of quality high, you could even charge for people booking in $15, $20 if you're doing a luxury property and maybe you have lunch or you have drinks as the at the open house. You can actually charge $15 to $20 just to make sure, even double check that people will show up and they are serious about showing up to the property. So there's a lot of different ways you can add to this. It's a really simple strategy, and hopefully I explained it in a way that you can implement it today. If you did enjoy the strategy and you want to learn a lot more about real estate marketing, make sure to subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Make sure to leave a like on the video. And yeah, anything else that you need help with, comment it down below. And I look forward to making a lot more videos. So stick around.